Be honest. How many times have you skipped that good habit because you just weren't feeling it? You weren't lazy, but you were just done. Yeah, in that moment, most people, this is where they lose consistency, but not you. Well, at least not after today. Good day to you all, and welcome to Bad Day Excellence, the podcast where we turn those tough days into opportunities for growth. I'm Brian Walsh, an optimist with over a decade of experience in marketing, leadership, and personal transformation. In that time, I have lost over 100 pounds, run a marathon, wrote a book, and worked with some of the most inspiring people I've ever met. I am here to help you build habits that create clarity, success, and a meaningful life, even when life feels chaotic. Every week, we'll dive into the art of habit formation and how you can apply it to your career, parenting, relationships, and beyond. Ready to turn a bad day into your next breakthrough? Let's get started. I've been finding myself supplementing my energy levels with a lot of caffeine lately. It's been a whirlwind of events over the past few weeks, and now we're transitioning from summer mode to school mode. This is going to wreak havoc on all of my routines, and the cracks are showing. The big thing that I want to share with you is that if you didn't already know, I wake up at 4:15 every single morning. Before you roll your eyes at me, let me just give you this one little tidbit. It took me 6 months of tiny tweaks in order to build up this morning routine. I wake up and go work out, run, or stretch. This will tire my body out so that I can tame my chaotic mind. Although the thing is, the last few mornings, it's been extra tough. I've noticed that I hit my alarm and my mind will whisper to me, sleep in. Yes, I think it was just a few days ago on Sunday, the morning of my son's birthday party, where I hit my snooze and closed my eyes. And then magically, I opened them up 2 minutes later, but I went through this time warp that was actually 20 minutes later. That jostled me up. Like all of a sudden I'm up, right? So then I'm like, I really do need to move. So what did I do next? Well, the next right thing in my brain was, okay, well, just go to the bathroom. And as I'm walking to the bathroom, well, look, there's your gym clothes. Why don't you just put them on? So I put them on. And then, now that I'm doing two of my actions, all of a sudden I'm like, okay, well, what's next? No brainer. I dunk my face into cold water. So I fill up the sink. I, get all ready. And I dunk my face. Now, there's a lot of good medical benefits for doing this, but I'm actually doing this to avoid being beat up by my optometrist. She is a wonderful woman, and every single time she judges me. And I think I have an appointment coming up, and I don't want to get judged. So I listen to her, kind of like my wife. And so all of this is part of my Bad Day Excellence plan. This is not about being motivated or anything like that. This is part of just my routine. And Bad Day Excellence is planning for the days where you don't have that motivation. Now, submerging my face in the water then triggers phase 2. Phase 2 is just go downstairs and just drink some water, right? You'll notice I'm using the word just. The word just is beautiful. I love this word because it is always about that little hesitation right before you go do something. Nike, just do it. Last week, I talked about your brain is just 3 pounds, even though it weighs us down like 300 pounds. The thing is, that word just will get you over that hump. And what we want is momentum. So I found myself downstairs grabbing some water. What was the next step? All of a sudden now I'm very fortunate. I have a home gym. Now I'm down in the basement. I have grabbed my foam roller. That's the first thing I do. I lay down on the floor. Yeah, sometimes I lay there a little bit longer, just stretching out, not really moving. But guess what? I'm already there. So then I was like, let me roll out. Okay, what's the next step? Okay, next is the active stretching. All of these steps have created the momentum to flip the switch from my brain saying, no, go back to sleep, to we're on, right? It flipped that let's go mode right in my brain. This is the beauty of building systems and routines. You don't need to think. You save that energy when you need it. If you only act when you feel like it, you will plateau. You see, motivation will only get you to your first bad day. And that's why developing your bad day excellence plan is so important. It's that tiny Kickstarter action that you can do without thinking, without any emotion or excuses. You just do it and you release this happy chemical in your brain because you completed it. You did it. Yes, you made some progress. Let me walk you through how to create a bad day excellence plan. First of all, think about some good habits that you have or would like to maintain, or something that you want to build on. And so sit with that for a minute. And now grab a piece of paper or talk it out on your phone or open up your notes app and write down a few ways that it could go south. Sleepless night, the flu, kids won't stop asking you for snacks, even though they have two legs, or maybe work has a huge deadline and you're really stressed out about it, or you need to allocate some extra time towards your work. Now, next to each scenario, what I want you to do is write down what is one small thing that you can do that's a no-brainer, that's a 1% progress action. This could be read one sentence in your book, eat one grape, do one push-up, put on your workout shoes. These are all tiny wins and progress. Here are some other real-world examples. For instance, at work, on those drain days, maybe you just write one messy sentence instead of drafting the whole entire email. It doesn't need to go out right away. Parenting, read one page with your kids instead of skipping story time. Just one page. Maybe they can even narrate it too. Say, hey, guess what this page says? It could be a fun activity. Health, put on your workout clothes. Even if the workout is just like standing in your kitchen and you're waiting on, like the microwavable food or whatever, you're just standing there stretching, but you feel good. Money, just log into your bank account and just take a quick look. Make sure you're not in the negative. You don't need to do a big budget audit. Growth comes from showing up on the bad days, not on the perfect ones. If you want to take it another step further, let's take those tiny wins and attach a reward to it. I've said it in previous episodes. I have a jar of Jolly Ranchers at my desk. When I'm not feeling it and my executive function is absolutely malfunctioning, I do one messy thing and then reward myself with a Jolly Rancher. Sometimes the wins need to be celebrated, even the smallest ones. Okay, so it's time for this week's challenge. I know I went over how to create a bad day excellence plan, but I want you to actually work on celebrating the execution. Every single time you execute your tiny excellence action, I want you to say out loud, that counts. You've got this. I always knew you did, but now I want to hear it. If you've enjoyed this episode, hit that subscribe button. Please leave a review or comment or anything. And if you're feeling feisty, go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or anywhere you listen to your podcast and give me a 5-star rating. Ratings, comments, shares, these are all forms of showing love, but not just to me, but to others, because together we can spread our good vibes to others on their bad days. I'm Brian Walsh, your guide to habit crafting and biggest champion. Thanks for tuning in to Bad Day Excellence. See you next time.